Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our assembly this morning. Our student digital leaders have spent some time to make a small assembly about Safer Internet Day. I hope you find it useful.
So what is Safer Internet Day? And yes, it's really a thing. Safer Internet Day is held in every February in over 170 different countries. The goal of Safer Internet Day is to call on people across the world to work together to make the internet a safer place for all, especially for young children. In the UK, the UK Safer Internet Centre run a campaign especially for the day, which aims to start a national conversation about using technology safely and positively. Last year, over half of children and young people in the UK heard about the campaign. It also involves and influences government, charities, police forces, and tech companies, including social media and gaming platforms. In 2023 alone, over 5,000 organizations in the UK delivered activities for the day. It was profiled on national TV and radio, from the BBC and Sky to The Independent and The Mirror. Coverage included young people across the country being interviewed about their experiences and hopes for the future of the internet. Millions more people engaged with the day online. We saw people across the UK sharing their celebrations on Instagram and Twitter, and there was a custom Safer Internet Day Snapchat filter, and over 30,000 young people tested their online knowledge with our quizzes. By being part of this assembly and joining countless others in making Safer Internet Day 2024 the biggest yet. So Safer Internet Day is also a celebration about everything the internet has done for us and can do. Imagine a world without the internet. How would your life change? These are some videos many of you may have seen before.
The actual winner of Who Knows Chunks the Best. Can we give a round of applause to Harry Pinero's friend, Young Billy?
Oi, you two, open up your pockets.
Oh, let's just stop it there and really analyse what's going on here. Isn't the all black? Perhaps it suggests deviance, delinquents, maybe a bit of mystery.
Yes, also, next time you want to approach us, make sure it's raining before you do so, to really use the pathetic fallacy.
Wait.
Auntie, my dad can write that.
Oh, she gonna fall, man. Yeah, come on, do it. Yeah, come on, shake your legs. Hey, she's holding the sun. Hey, yo, reload that, yo.
You got it.
Oh my God. Hey, yo, give me your hand. Let me use you for stability. Yeah. And see, I got it now. I got it now. Hey, yo, give me your hand. I'm gonna need your hand again. Oh my.
The first thing I'd like to consider is, how would your life change without the internet? Me personally, I like surfing the internet. I like playing video games, so it changed a lot for me. I don't know about you guys, but you guys can think about that. Over the course of recent times, we have a lot of different evolving technologies. This includes AI, 5G, smartphones, wireless earbuds. I love wireless earbuds myself, very convenient. Smartwatches and Face ID. All of these are something that weren't prevalent like 10 years ago. So it is an example of how technologies have evolved.
Of course, we can also think about this theme in another way. How is the internet changing us? What we see online, who we see it with, how long we see it for, how we see it. All of the content we come across and interact with has the potential to influence the way we think, feel, and act. Think about what you spend your time doing, your ideas, the decisions you make, your opinions, your interests, and what you spend your money on. And the decisions you make, it's all likely that these have been influenced or even changed by your use of technology and the internet in some way.
So, let's start by thinking about how the internet can change our lives for the better. Who or what online has allowed you to change, learn, or grow in a positive way? You might be thinking of content that builds your confidence, creating communities or connecting with others, hearing about important issues, being inspired to try something new, or insights into lived experiences different to your own. There are some great things on that list, but we know that technology and the internet can also have a negative influence on us too, such as pressure to always be online and connected, encouraging healthy lifestyles or habits, hurtful or harmful beliefs, bullying and harassment, and unrealistic lifestyles and standards. In turn, this can lead to negative emotions, so it's important to be able to identify these negative influences and manage them in a way that will help us thrive online.
Here is a BBC video on how social media addiction is affecting us.
My name is Ricky Schlott, and I was 11 years old when I joined Instagram. I was constantly checking, and I would say that probably over the span of a day it was 3-4 hours that I poured into these apps. It really became this constant bombardment of the highlight reel of everyone else's life. It used to be back in the day, you'd see a magazine and you'd say, oh, she's so beautiful, but now this magazine is following you around and it's in your pocket. I was looking and scrolling through and seeing these idealized versions of other people, and that was detrimental to my own self-worth and confidence. My sense of self was developing in this kind of bizarre duality between Instagram Ricky and real life Ricky. Looking back, I'm missing a lot of photos of just being a kid and just being authentic and real.
When I was younger, I didn't really care as much about what people thought of me and my Instagram account, but now I feel like that kind of affects me a little bit more.
When you're like feeling at your worst and then you go on Instagram and you see like models, influencers, celebrities, things like that, and you're just like, oh, well, I'll never be like that.
Social media can exploit the parts of our brain that get us to connect with other humans. Our brains get us to make those human connections by releasing dopamine in the reward pathway, which is the feel-good neurotransmitter. And what happens with certain types of social media apps is that they release so much dopamine in the reward pathway that they essentially become the equivalent of an addictive drug.
I really relied on having that constant access to my account as a sort of fail-safe for when I was feeling particularly low about myself, so that I could have people bring me back up again.
Other people's judgments become very, very salient for the adolescent brain, and that makes adolescents more vulnerable to the reinforcing and addictive potential of social media.
The more I've reflected on it, the more I realize that social media is designed to be addicting, and it gets better at addicting people every day.
The company's leadership knows how to make Facebook and Instagram safer, but won't make the necessary changes because they have put their astronomical profits before people.
When any teen has a bad experience on Instagram, but I want to be clear that that is not what these stolen documents say.
Here's another survey. Pew Research found in late 2018, 26% said the sites make them feel worse about their own life. There are plenty of other surveys we could point to. A quarter of children that are on this site say it makes them feel worse.
And again, anytime a single teen is having a bad experience, that's too much. That's why we ask these questions. One thing that shows that we are prioritizing safety above profit is the very fact that we're asking these hard questions.
Control means you're using much more than you plan to use. Compulsion means that there's a level of automaticity. You find yourself picking it up without even thinking about doing it. And then consequences, it's interfering with things like sleep, exercise.
When I decided to pull back from it, it was a moment of clarity, and I still used them maybe less than an hour a day, because I do think that they're part of the language of being a Gen Zer. You can't connect with people without some degree of online presence. We really need to take this moment to say, our childhoods were stolen, but we're now young adults, and reclaiming that and not allowing that to become a habit that continues into adulthood is enormously important for our well-being.
Okay, so risks of too much screen time. So these include headaches, foggy brain, so like not able to think properly or understand simple things quick enough, or like getting confused or feeling disorganized, or possibly like memory problems. Sleep issues, so lack of sleep or maybe like too much sleep. Affects socializing skills, so like being able to communicate with people, making new friends, and like yeah, decrease attention, so maybe could relate to education, school, like if you're looking at a maths problem and you get distracted really quickly and stuff. Then affect motor skills and impact physical and mental health. So how you are physically, like how active you are, and mentally, like also linking back to socializing. Now, how do I check my screen time? So here are two tutorials I'm going to show on how to check your screen time on iPhones and Androids. Yeah.
On iOS, to see your screen time, you want to click on Settings, and then scroll down to Screen Time. Here you'll see your daily screen time across all your devices, and if you press on All Activity, you'll see it for this week alone. And now if you scroll down, you'll see your most used apps and the time you spent on them. You can see my most used app here is Firefox. And if you keep scrolling, you'll see the amount of times you've picked up your phone over that week, and the app you use first when you pick it up. And if you keep scrolling, you'll see your notifications and the amount of notifications you get per day and what notifications you get most often. And now scrolling back to the top, if you press day, this will show you your screen time for that day only. So this will show you the last 24 hours, showing the most apps you've used in the last 24 hours, and again the pickups of the last 24 hours. And again, finally, you can see what notifications you have received.
Okay, here's how you can look at your screen time on Android. It's in a folder called Digital Wellbeing. So on my phone, I've got an app called Digital Wellbeing, and I can see it in my app tray. So if I tap on Digital Wellbeing, I can then see my dashboard. So I can see the different apps I spent time on today, the number of unlocks I've had, and the number of notifications I've had. And if I tap on that pie chart in the middle, it then takes me to this view. This is my dashboard. At the top, you can see the amount of time that you've spent on your phone on that day. And then further down, you can see the different apps that you've looked at. So I can see Twitter was my most used app on the 6th of September, then TikTok, Chrome, Reddit, and Instagram. You can also change this drop down to things like notifications. So you can see, okay, which apps are sending me the most notifications? Or when I unlocked my phone, what app did I open first? Why did I unlock my phone? Well, I can see I mostly unlocked my phone and I went straight to Twitter. And that's it.
Here at Cotham School, our teachers want to make sure that we are safe in all parts of our lives, including online. If something you've seen online or something that has happened online is worrying you or affecting you, please go to the teachers for help and advice. So as we've come to the end of this assembly, we've looked at how technology and the internet are changing all the time. These changes mean that we can access and consume content in ways that have never been done before, which can influence us in lots of positive ways, but in many negative ways as well. Thank you for watching this video, and thanks for listening.